everyone, today we're doing a new thing, Let's Play series over on Rainy Day, a brand new Skyblock season that has just launched literally in the last 48 hours. So before we jump into the video, the IP is on screen for both Bedrock and Java. Make sure you come on over and have a look at it. It's season 3. It's still fairly new, and they've released so many new things this season, including a D-Boss, which I know a lot of people are excited about. But this is my first 24 hours over on the server. Please drop a like right now, which is the big thumbs up button down below, and please don't forget to subscribe if you're not already. We're covering everything from setting up my island and opening up some crates, as well as how to boost yourself with some island upgrades. Now let's jump into this. Okay, so the first thing that I'm going to do is island create. And in here you have a whole selection of hard, easy, as well as medium category islands to select from. I do recommend, if it's your first time playing on the season, to go for an easy one. There are many easy options. As you can see here, I kind of debated between the mine shaft as well as the sort of fisherman one, but I didn't know if a farming one was good or whether I go for a standard vanilla. I do end up picking the mine shaft, and this is kind of what it looks like. It was not what I thought it was going to look like, and yeah, loot boxes. So this is, if you have a rank, you can select a loot box. So in here, you click the star, the nether star, and you open a loot box. I love the way that crates open on this server. It is so cool. I got $500, 3 dungeon potions, as well as some enchant books, as we can see here. I'm going to have a separate video at some point covering all enchants and potions and most things that you do see on here. There will be some guide videos throughout. Flash Clash is the new feature this season. As we can see here, if you do the command, you already get an immediate reward for the first time. It's part of personal missions, and that is essentially what I'm going to start grinding throughout this series. Personal missions are a great way to get easy rewards. They have so many different commands that help you learn the game, but as you can see here, I'm just going through them all. With the attributes, there are ways to get these through like more attribute points throughout the different missions. I decided to upgrade my stamina one. I don't know if that's a good one or not, but that was the one that I decided to go through and hope for. But in here, I'm just going to go through all the commands / skills. Again, I'm going to have a tutorial video coming soon on this, which should be exciting. But I decided to actually probably proc upgrade my fishing because you guys know I love fishing. But back over on the missions, going through the tutorial ones / sprites. Sprites is essentially like servants, but on this server. Again, I will have another video covering those at some point. Study is really important because in here you have your different categories. They're like your masteries, so to speak, of what you're grinding. And then we have a standard / shop. This server's economy is very different to most because it's very vanilla. So it's very difficult to get money. / pets, and you do get rewarded with a pet egg. So pets are a thing over here. There's also dungeons, which looks really exciting, and you'll be happy to know there's no parkour over here on this dungeons, as well as / craft in there. Now, with the beginner ones, if you complete these, remember to go back and click it to redeem your rewards. For the basic one, the tutorial one automatically gives you the rewards, but the basic ones don't give you the rewards. I opened my pet egg and I actually got a wolf pet, which increases your skill attribute by 10 per level. I kind of thought this was pretty pog. Please let me know in the comment section if it isn't. But essentially, to activate this, I'm just going to select that green slot and then select that one pet that I have. Now, the aim of this sort of let's play for day one is basically to sort my island out. So I'm just going to go ahead, make myself a pickaxe with some sticks. And then essentially try to get rid of this mine shaft because it's not what I thought it was going to look like. And essentially just kind of make my island look good. So I'm just going to speed through sort of me trying to flatten out this mine shaft as best as I can. And then essentially expanding my platform. You can actually increase your size of your island as default with island upgrades. I'm going to get an oak sapling down to begin with to try and get some wood, as well as build an infinite water source, because I'm planning to also build an organ as well as get some crops growing to help with all my different studies. So I'm just going to build that water source. You do get 2 buckets by default, but you can buy more in the shop. And then I'm just going to go ahead and expand on my platform. Now, it's really important to vote. Voting early game is really good because I have played previous seasons. I have quite a lot of votes stacked up. I think it's about 7 or 8 what you can claim in a day. The more times you vote throughout the month, you will receive in-game rewards as well as cloud coins, and cloud coins is essentially the equivalent of like the way to buy in-store crates and things like that. Kind of like a gift card, so to speak, is the best way to think about cloud coins. But they kind of sit on your account. They never expire. So when a new season starts, you keep your cloud coins. You can see I have 2,750 from the previous season. Now with the spawners that I got from that, I'm just going to place them down. They do have to be on a dirt block in order to work, a really important feature. I'm pretty sure it has to be a grass block as well. I don't think it works on just a standard dirt block. I think it has to be grass. If you only have 1 dirt block though, put a grass block next to it and eventually it should turn into grass. This is when I do my island upgrades. An island upgrade is essentially my way of getting a bigger island, which is basically my primary goal. I kind of go through these to see all the different things that you can upgrade, and as you go on, these are important, but I focus on island upgrade as well as my ore gen, because I am planning to try and mine. Mining is really important as well to get iron, and you use that iron to essentially repair your tools. You will start off with a stone pickaxe and then hopefully eventually get onto an iron pickaxe. I don't even know if it goes any higher than iron, to be honest. Now I'm focusing on my farming studies, and that starts off with sugarcane. I'm just building some sugarcane. It does grow on both sand as well as moss, but I'm going to place my sugarcane down on the sand that I've got and let this grow. Essentially, I started to have a little bit of a freak out because I thought this was gonna overflow and spill, but it's all good. I managed to kind of save my island, but not really. So now onto an ore gen. Now I have got a really OP ore gen tutorial coming out next. This is just my quick standard ore gen that I can use just to get some blocks because I don't have enough blocks to build my island platform. So I'm just going to build a quick ore gen here and then essentially plan on mining this up and trying to get a couple of blocks down, as well as having this mining work towards my studies, because again, your studies are important. So I'm kind of just going to speed this little clip of me up. I do quite a lot of grinding outside of these clips as well, but it's essentially just to work towards my studies. I then realized I have a sprite because I do get the sprite with the highest rank. So I'm just going to go ahead and place that down. And then in here, I can actually select my sprite to have a study. So I want my sprite to study for essentially my study points. So I want that to be fishing. And so I need to remember to place the sprite down, otherwise it wouldn't work. And now I'm going to focus on just trying to get some organization to my island. So we're going to have a furnace to smelt some stuff. I'm also going to go ahead and craft a crafting table because I feel like that is important to have, even though I do have access to the command/craft. It's always nice to have a crafting table, I feel like, next to a furnace. And then just going to move this chest because I do feel like it is in the way. I'm also going to try and add a little bit of organization to that chest because I feel like it's just full of clutter. Some of the skins that I have are also from last season because I did dabble last season. Quite a lot of my friends compete on this server. So I am very lucky to have a little bit of guidance and tips on what to do. But back to mining and working on my studies. This is where you'll notice it's really important to try and do that ore gen upgrade, more mining. Eventually you will get iron. Now this is where I do /buycraft, because /buycraft is where you can spend your cloud coins. And in order to get cloud coins again, you do buy them off the shop. They have a monthly key and they normally have some really good rewards in them. You can see here the prices. Essentially, I kind of buy some Buycraft offline. I come back, I've now got 10,250 cloud coins. And I'm aiming to buy 3 monthly keys to see what I can get. This is a bit of a head start / cheat. If you can afford it, definitely do it. Obviously, don't put yourself out though. But this will definitely help speed things up. By no means am I getting a super big head start though. You know, a few days time, everyone will get the same. But in here, we're getting some spawners as well as some keys and some armor. It is worth noting though, I didn't know this until I was opening these crates, that over here you can get a respin, which means that it re-rolls the whole crate and you get basically double the drops, which is absolutely crazy, really OP, and I absolutely love that feature. You can see it in the background, someone pulled it and I was like, oh my god. Really, really cool. A lot of the stuff that I am pulling, I am going to have a separate video on, so things like armor trims, and all of the like hard leather and things. This is all to do with clashes, I believe, so I'm going to have a separate video on that in a little bit. The sort of beacon looking things are essentially an equivalent of like a specific hopper, if you know what I mean. So like to collect all your ores or to collect your certain fish or your mob, and that's kind of how those act. Now this is my last crate, and my last crate was insane because not only did I get a pickaxe as well as a hoe as well as a legendary trophy case. I just thought that was really cool. And the legendary trophy case is essentially the cosmetic case, and they are like exclusives, so I was really excited about that. Now you'll notice I ended on a lot of keys, so I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to open these keys up. I really love the way that crates open on this server. I think it's such a cool feature. I got 3 random books, and now I'm essentially speedrunning this to see what I pull. I do end up with a lot of weather totems, so I think I'm going to do a separate video on totems and weather because I feel like that is an important factor to the server, and I have a significant amount of totems. So be sure to keep an eye out for that because that will be coming very, very soon. I also got Sky Dust, so that's really good for island upgrades. But as I'm kind of working through these, I'm getting a couple of things. Again, nothing crazy, but the iron was definitely a lucky pull because, as I've mentioned, iron early game, you do need it. So really happy that I pulled iron because honestly, you definitely need it. The spawners, I am planning to place these out to grind some mobs, but another 1,000 Sky Dust, which is really cool. The oak composite, again, tutorial coming soon for that one. I'll explain exactly how all of these work, as well as some more enchant books. I might even do an enchant video at some point because there's just so much to learn on this server. There's like just so much to it, which is really cool. But my last 3 keys, and just open those quickly. Grass blocks, by the way, you might be like, what? Trust me, you're gonna need them. This is very, very vanilla, and grass blocks early game are very, very good. And then my final key pulls me some more XP. Now this is where I notice on my cloud coins, I actually have enough to buy 1 more monthly key. So I debated it. Do I buy it? Do I buy it? I'm like, no, let's buy it. Let's get 1 more key. You have to click all 3 crystals for the patches to go through. It's kind of just like a confirmation. Honestly, really happy with this pull. Not only did I get a cosmetic key, 3 sprite keys, a collector, a hoe, and a epic respin, which means that I get a respin and collect all of these ones. Another cosmetic key at the exact same pull, by the way. I thought that was crazy. And then I was so happy that I pulled the fishing rod because you guys know, like, I feel like that's destiny because I love to fish. So by pulling that, honestly, it just made my day. would have loved the April sword, I'm going to be honest, but we will live. I will try to get some enchants and figure out how to get a good sword at some point. This is where I realized Stormy and Sunny weather totems kind of look very similar. There is the occasional like weird glitchy lag thing that happens where it kind of double ups on dropping them in. You can see that with my mouse. But it's all good. It's all good. So I'm just going to drop all of my stuff in here just to try and organize, at least have semi-organized PVs is kind of where my mindset's at. I do plan to open that tech case though, because if you know me, you know I love to collect cosmetics. And last season they had a Sakura, I think it is, the Cherry Blossom basically. And I didn't get the gradient for that, and I'm really sad. And I don't know if we can even get it this season. But you guys know I love cosmetics, so if I can open up my cosmetics, I will. But this is me trying to be semi-organized here at everything. So I'm just going to drop all my books. Again, a lot of these are new to me, so I'm going to put ones that I think I know are good to one side, and then everything else I'm going to research. Again, probably make a video because I don't know what some of these are. Luck of the Sea is fishing, I'm pretty sure, but again, not 100%. Now, essentially, if you're familiar with like overflow or backpacks, there is a command / reward vault, one word, and essentially this is your sort of like overflow / if you pull anything, it kind of sits there. This is me now opening my Sprite key. The ones that kind of look like the pet egg, the global VP egg, is the ones that you really want because that's the universal Sprite. But unfortunately, I get too many and one skill, so all is good. Now, the cosmetics is where it's really important. I do believe the cosmetics automatically apply to your account, so you can't actually auction house them. So it makes it really, really difficult to collect. You basically have to be lucky and pull it yourself. Hopefully we kind of see cosmetics semi-tradable. But the crates are tradable, so you can trade the keys and the crates. Essentially how they then work is you open it, and I love this animation. But I pulled a hunter title, which I believe is a tag, but don't quote me on that. And then I also pull out on this one. See that gradient go past and I get all excited. I'm like, but I get this trail, which kind of is an animation that you can put on yourself. And then finally the tech case, which is meant to be the new one from the monthly crate, of course. I'm really happy actually, because I get a sword skin and I love my cosmetics. So I grab a sword from my PV and I look for that new tech skin. And I'm checking myself out probably for about 5 minutes in spawn, I'm going to be honest, because I think I look fantastic. And then I'm essentially just testing that out, hitting my chickens, placing my spawners down, and getting to work. That is the end of day one. I feel like I achieved a lot in day one, I'm going to be honest. But day two is coming very soon, and we've got so much to do. I've got machines to build, ore gens to build, things to just craft, and debosses to grind, dungeons to grind. There's so much. So please make sure you're subscribed, and you can check out all my guide videos as well as some more Let's Play series. I am open to feedback because this is my first ever Let's Play series, so let me know what you think about it. And I'll see you in another video very soon, but goodbye.